Let us start our meeting by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag will be up there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Before we get started, we're just going to do some quick introductions, just so everybody knows who is on our board. Hi, I'm Christine Green. I'm the president. Nice to meet everyone. And then Madam Delgado, vice president.
Paula Restrepo, treasurer. Elissa Foster, membership chair. Shannon Cowan, Mackenzie rep. Tara Sean, bylaws.
Jillian Colley, recording secretary.
And Kevin Lyon, corresponding secretary.
And Linda Lyon, Lincoln rep and social media.
So, if anybody has any questions, please reach out. Happy to help in any way that we can. Next on the agenda is our guest speakers. We have Mrs. Borelli, Mr. Barrow, Mr. Velarde, and Mr. G with us tonight, all zooming in. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Velarde, I know you have a 3-year-old birthday celebration tonight, so you can go up first if everyone is okay with that. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. We're in between presents and cake now, so I appreciate you giving me the chance to speak first. So, welcome again. I'm so happy to have you all at Lincoln School. Hopefully you're enjoying our beautiful faces up on the big screen. Just some of the happenings that have been happening since we opened in September. Staff have been doing a number of different school trainings this year. So far, we've been focusing on SEL, social emotional learning, and restorative practices. We did a number of trainings on Columbus Day regarding ESL programming, the new math platform, how to support students that need language development, health topics, and best practices as they've been updated with our school nursing, among other things. So we have spent a lot of time investing in our staff to ensure that they are bringing the best of services to your children. With regards to the children, we have been doing some of our diagnostic screening. So earlier in September, they ran through the STAR Reading Diagnostic and the Savas Math Diagnostic platform. That's to really get a baseline in terms of standard-based assessment and get a sense of where your children are. We also conducted the STAR Strong assessment as mandated by the Department of Education. We had a number of fantastic events throughout the months of September and October, with the first being the official ribbon cutting ceremony for Lincoln School to open it to the community. We had an absolutely fantastic day. The weather was perfect. I think the event in and of itself was fantastic. It was so great to see so many parents and community stakeholders coming to enjoy the property. We continued that last night with back to school night. I want to say thank you so much to the PTA for being such an active participant in getting back to school night situated, making sure the school book fair was up and running. Again, we were very well attended last night. I actually got a little nervous when it looked like we were running out of seating, but to me, that's a fantastic problem to have. Shows the investment of our parents as a major stakeholder to the school. Safety and security. Our students and staff have been doing a fantastic job of getting acclimated to the new building. One of my concerns coming into it was this is brand new to everybody, so all of the safety and security protocols and procedures are going to be brand new to everybody. Just as they have in pretty much every realm of the school opening, everybody has been more than up to the task. We actually had our formal evacuation with South School, where we actually took the students down to Becton Regional High School on Tuesday. And to say that was a success would be putting it mildly. The students were fantastic. It was about as smooth as I could have imagined it running. So thank you to the East Rutherford Police Department, to Becton Regional High School, their district administration, Mrs. Borelli, all of our community partners have been fantastic in making sure that we are up to snuff and ready to go. PTA coordinated our school pictures with VNL, so we completed those with makeup schedules for later on this winter, December 15th. I mentioned back to school night. I started to briefly discuss the school book fair, which today was a great marketplace for our students down in the music room. We will have that final last chance sale for those students that were absent today, or for those who were unable to make a purchase today. So they're going to have probably from like 8:30 to 10 o'clock tomorrow for any last minute purchases before they shut down the fair. Again, thank you to the East Rutherford PTA for coordinating that with Scholastic. A couple final projects are still in the works with regards to the construction component, and I don't want to step on Mr. Jean Castro's toes. But today, for example, they're finishing work on the fencing in the rear, on the south side of the building. Tomorrow we will have the wiring team come in to put in speakers, so you don't have to deal with that annoying box on the floor anymore. We'll have 6 beautiful speakers in that gym to facilitate our audio. So we are excited about reaching that final finish line with regards to the construction. And last off, I just want to close with a thank you. East Rutherford Police Department, East Rutherford Fire Department, the PTA, the Board of Education, Mr. Gene Pasco, our administrative team, the mayor and council. Everybody has been so incredibly supportive. It was a challenge to get this building open on time, but we met that challenge, and I think it has been nothing but a benefit to the school, the community, and all of you. So thank you so very much. If anybody had any particular questions about Lincoln School, please feel free.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Velarde while he's on? Floor is quiet. Happy birthday, Savannah. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Velarde.
Thank you, I appreciate it. You all have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Barrow, Ms. Borelli, or Mr. G, who would like to go next?
I guess age before beauty, so I guess I have to go. So I just wanted to welcome everyone to the 22-23 school year. I want to first start by thanking the PTA, Mrs. Green, with your leadership. It has been flawless. I appreciate the continual conversations that we've had over the summer, weekends, holidays, just about what's going on, which is nice to have that open communication with you. It's nice to know that if there's something bothering parental community or something going on that they need addressed, it's always nice that you bring that to my attention so that I could, work with my administrative team as well as the Board of Education to keep them abreast of what's going on or major concerns that there may be with any given topic, whether it's school related, outside of school, or just in the community itself. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart to you and your executive board. Nothing but the best. I truly appreciate everything. Like Mr. Velarde said, there has been a lot of progress with our construction. Currently, right now, only at Mrs. Borelli's building, there is a punch list that we're still looking to do. Pretty much all of her construction is done, other than punch list items that still need to be addressed. Over at Mr. Barrow's building, there are some things that need to be completed, as well as the development of a punch list. Just to define what a punch list is, those are items that would not hinder the building to be open, or whether it be life safety issues. So anything that are other than those life issues would be addressed within the next month or so. Over again, Mr. Velarde's building, a couple of things just need to be fine-tuned as he addressed with you all, as well as the development of some punch list items. We're finalizing the board annex right now, and Mrs. Borelli will be so happy that I'm out of her building. We have our business office and her central office taking some space away from her, but as she is good at, is trying to alter her schedule to address the needs of the central office and business office to accommodate us. So thank you, Mrs. Borelli, over the last year and a half of having us in your building. So we're hoping all furniture will be delivered to the board office annex by the end of October, and we should be officially in the first week in November, where Mrs. Borelli's brand new furniture in those 2 classrooms, STEM and STEAM labs and science lab are in storage right now and just waiting for the okay for delivery. A couple of other things just wanted to mention. With the referendum that had passed, we reconfigured the district, which was the vision. And now we truly have a 3-building district where we are configured as, or reconfigured as, a preschool 3-building, Mr. Barrow, 4-5, which is intermediate, a true intermediate, which is Mr. Velarde, and then a true middle school, 6, 7, 8 at Mrs. Borelli's building. So with that said, I just want to make sure we make it a point that we see Mackenzie School as one entity where it's an elementary building, and we've had intermediate, which was 5, 6, 7, 8, and Mrs. Borelli's building, and both building principals have done a stellar job of making it such a special place for learning, as well as scholastic experiences that we have in conjunction with our PTA and our Ed Foundation, who is nothing but the best. One thing I want to state is that we're trying to develop the 4-5 building as its own separate entity, where it shares a little bit of the love of learning from Mr. Barrow and the extended learning after they leave the elementary realm or the intermediate realm to be ready for the high school once we get through middle school. So Mr. Velarde is working very hard along with the administrative team so that we don't have any duplicates of anything, but making it its own, where we have our special dance over at Mrs. Borelli's building. We have those special events at Mr. Barrow's building. So along with some input that we're getting from Mrs. Green and the PTA, is trying to find the 4-5 building having its own special events, something separate than what Mr. Borelli has been so successful in doing, as well as Mr. Barrow has been so successful doing in his building. With that said, really, really important, if we have our parents, please visit our website. Please get acclimated to the mission statement, the revised mission statement, because that mission statement is extremely, very important, and what leads and pushes the district and all decisions that are made. When we say that, we mean parents on board, right? Parents are part of the learning community. We mean you. So exactly what is expected of our parents is to make sure you know that mission statement and how you can assist us at home, so that it's a wonderful transition between home and school. As well as getting a better understanding, which is on our website, of the profile of an 8th grader, what the children will be able to acquire, with essential questions that are addressed, and during learning, the learning that goes on from preschool all the way through 8th grade. But the time they walk across the stage over Mrs. Borelli's building, and now the new mall area outside of Mrs. Borelli's building, which will hold our graduations, that they're prepared to go to Beckton or to any school that they choose, which is really, really important. Another thing that's really important this year is that we looked at our Start Strong and our New Jersey Student Learning Assessment, which took place in the spring of last year, and that we just took the new Start Strong, as Mr. Velarde had mentioned. Really, really important all across the state of New Jersey. If we actually fell asleep right before COVID and woke up now, and you look in our classrooms, and you see our teachers, and you see our administration, it looks like we have not skipped a beat. But as we all know, that is not true, right? Children across the state of New Jersey, we're addressing mental health. We're addressing how to socialize again. We're dealing with the stamina of staying alert in a classroom, right? Knowing the do's and the don'ts. All of those things, as well as our academics, which are really, really important. So with all of those things, we're looking at the test scores that we received, which was presented at the last board meeting, and from there, looking at a plan. We can move our numbers up and continue to be that state-of-the-art, high-performing district that East Rutherford prides themselves with. As well as, please, parents, make sure you look at the parent academies. Really, really important that you join them. What's nice about it is it's virtual, right? So you're able to come in, you can see it, it's the luxury of your own home, and you're learning along with your children. So please look out for that. This year, something new, which we have, is not only will you experience your fall parent parent conferences, but this year, we also will have our spring conferences, which is really, really important, so parents can understand where their children are, where they are in the fall, and where they have excelled in the springtime, so that we can see just the growth of all of our Wildcats as we go from September all the way through the end of the school year. And one last thing that I have for this evening, two last things. So if there's anything that's coming from the state or federal government, it will be definitely embedded into our policies. It will be shared out with Genesis Blast, like I've said, at all of our all of our back to school nights. Please make sure that you make sure all of your email address, your phone numbers, your emergency contacts are all updated in Genesis. Really, really important. If they've changed, please reach out to the individual buildings where your children attend to make sure, because if there's an emergent situation, I need to get in touch with you and get in touch with you very quickly. Now, the last piece. In November, we have our board elections. Really, really important that all parents come out and vote. It is extremely important. We have done a fine job with our boards in the past, present, and of course, any future board members that come on board. It is really important to have a voice and get out there and vote. So please, 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 election, if you're getting out there, please look for board elections and vote. It's really, really important. That's all I have. Mrs. Green, thank you for all of your collaboration, your thoughts, your ideas. It's really, really important, and I will continue to be that superintendent that's collaborative with our stakeholders in the East Rutherford School District. Just a proud superintendent to lead such a wonderful district of parents, administrators, staff, and of course, our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. G. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. G tonight? Floor is quiet. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. G. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Garrow, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Welcome everyone. Hi, Mr. G, Mrs. Raleigh, Mr. Velarde. As everyone else noted, thank you to the PTA and their board for all their collaboration and support to our schools. We had a successful back to school night, so I really appreciate everyone's participation, collaboration. Our book fair, from what I heard at back to school night, was one of our most successful fundraisers and back to school nights, and it was just great to see all the volunteers in school for those past couple days that evening, and also for our picture day the following week. I think that for all three buildings, from good communication with Mrs. Green and all principals and so forth, that went as smooth as possible. So we're really happy about that, and I believe we have the retakes for all schools at some point in December, so we'll get additional communications out for that in the near future. We had the PTA Spirit Wear, as Mr. Velarde and Mr. Jane Casco noted. Mackenzie focuses on math assessments, but our teachers have done a lot of baseline assessments in reference to reading levels for subject areas and so forth to see where the students are so that we can track their growth for the remainder of the year. We also just recently celebrated Week of Respect. So all of our guidance counselors, school psychologists, and so forth, collaboration with teachers in school. We had school spirit weeks across all buildings. And this week, we celebrated Fire Prevention Month within Mackenzie. New Fire Marshal Ryan, he was very helpful. He came up with something new this year. So we had fire trucks and the EMS truck down by Totland. We had all of our students do like a 30-minute visitation where he did presentations on fire safety, what to do if there's a fire, and also for fire prevention. We also had three former, they're always a Wildcat, but three former students that are firemen currently right now. So they're 18, 19, and 20-something years old that helped with the presentations as well, and they're East Rutherford firemen. So that was great to see those three gentlemen this past week as well. Beyond that, we have a Wear Pink Day, School Spirit Day in a week or so. 2 weeks, I believe, the 20th, and a communication will come out for Mackenzie School on that. And then before you know it, we have Halloween right around the corner. That's always a huge and phenomenal elementary event. So we're looking forward to that on the 31st. As I noted, it is a Monday, but we will make that Monday awesome. We're planning on a schedule. Communication already went on that. We will have a separate small parade for our pre-K AM and full-day students in the AM. The pre-K team sent out a separate communication on that if there's any pre-K parents there. But essentially 1:30 is our parade that goes around the school, and traditionally has always worked out very well. Beyond that, we have parent conferences coming up, as Mr. G noted, the first week in November. We do have a half day on that day, and most parents should have already set up an appointment with their teachers. If they have not, please reach out to them now so they can collaborate a time that works best for all. Beyond that, it's Happy Wednesday. Yankees won last night, and we're halfway there in the week. Tomorrow's Thursday, Friday, and just I want to thank everyone, parent support, administrative team here for a successful start to the school year, and continued patience in reference to any punch list items that Mr. G went over, because we do have beautiful facilities within all district, and we're really excited for all the enhancements that many of you have seen at Back to School. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barrow. Any questions for Mr. Barrow? The floor is open.
I don't know if it goes to him, but
Okay.
I wasn't here at the beginning of last year, so I'm not sure if you guys did or not, but do they do anything or like make mention of the different like multicultural American, for example, Hispanic Heritage American, Filipino Heritage American this year, other than the Day of the Dead? I don't know if that's
Mr. Barrow, the question is, as far as like multicultural,
well, yeah,
events,
throughout the different months. Is it
Throughout
just
the different-
summer or?
throughout the different months of the year, do we celebrate them in the schools
Or make mention.
or mention it.
Mr. Barrow, you're on
You're on
mute.
mute, Mr. Barrow.
Pros and cons to that. Sorry about that. Thank you. So yes, we do cover all cultural events and so forth within the classroom. There has been some traditional events. I'm just going to note the Halloween parade, right? So that was one of 4 components throughout the year that have been more traditional as far as a parade and you can maybe say a larger component. But I'm just going to give you an example. National Polish Heritage Month is this past October. Even though it's Hispanic Heritage Month started mid-September and goes to mid-October, so we celebrate that month and other events. We have Diwali coming up, where teachers and staff do review and go over components as such. It's within our social studies curriculum, in which our teachers do embed certain holidays as a review, okay, but not necessarily just more of on the educational end. So I'm hoping that answers the question. I don't know if there was a particular instance, but we have Diwali on October 24th, which I believe is about 10 days away, approximated, and that's a celebration of lights. So that has been something that we've have implemented within the schools, just as far as educating and clearly in being inclusive in reference to all the students that reflect our school and staff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barrow. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Barrow.
Thank you,
For
everyone.
joining us. Okay, Mrs. Borelli, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I wish I could see all of you there, but I'm so happy to be able to be a part of this meeting. It's our first one, obviously, of the year. I have to thank the PTA on behalf of all of us. I mean, the events and all the programs and the fundraisers keep coming and coming and coming for the best interest of our students. I have to say there's probably not a week that goes by where I do not hear from Mrs. Green or Mr. Giancastro or Mr. Barrow or Mr. Velarde what we're going to do next. Approve for this, approve for that, approve this. And I just love to see that. We all do, because it's like we finally come out of the darkness. And just having just life and children and students and adults and everybody working back again together in just as almost as normal as possible feels great. And of course, along with all that is new adjustments. Never a dull moment in East Rutherford. I think that's why I've been here for 20 years now. This year is my 20th, and I love it. There's always something going on. As far as our school, Faust, obviously, all the renovations were almost complete. We just have a few more things we have to do. As far as our assessments, we're pretty much all the principals are on the same page. What I do is what Mr. Barrow does, is what Mr. Velarde does. So I've done the STAR assessments, and I don't want to repeat all this because you've heard it, but I'll just breeze over it real quickly. We've done the STAR assessments, we've done the STRONG assessments, we've been looking at assessments so that we can see where we are, where we need to be, and the work that has to go into it. Our teachers have been working extremely hard to get us where we all should be, and I have to say I'm very proud of the staff, I'm proud of the students. They're taking this year very seriously. It's fun, but yet they know work needs to be done. So we are all going with that mindset. Also, we're working on the social emotional learning, because in the past 2 years, we did lose some of that social aspect of communicating with each other, adults, students to students. So we're putting some practices in place to get ourselves current. We also had our back to school night, and that I felt like was a real big success. We had a very nice crowd. If there's anyone that wasn't able to make it, please reach out to your child's teachers, because we'll be happy to give you any updates of what you need. As Mr. Gene Casper said, please, always see those Genesis blasts. When you see a Genesis blast come out, it's a matter of something that's important. Always from the school. It's not usually a fundraiser or a promotional. It's of importance of what we're trying to send out to you to communicate, and that is basically the main way of communication in the world today. So that's an adjustment, especially from me. I didn't come from the computer world. I know Mr. G said age before beauty, but I am older than him. And as well as my other colleagues, but I will take that compliment, Mr. G. Thank you very much. The other thing we're going to have is a parent academy, Dow School, not just for 8th grade, but 7th, 6th, even 5th. We're going to let parents know what it is that they need to know to prepare their child for high school. So not only do we have Beckton, there are a lot of other schools, the academy, anywhere that there's Catholic schools. There's many schools that students like to apply for. So what we do is we bring all our parents together and we give you all the information that you're going to need in order for you to decide what route is best for your child. We want the best for everyone, and not everyone has the same preferences. So that will be coming up, and I will be sending something out very soon regarding that particular parent academy. And again, you do not need to be an 8th grade parent, because you want to start now in 6th grade, 5th grade, to see what you were looking to do and go in what direction. So that'll be coming out soon. We also, I know the 8th grade committee, I've been in touch with them. Speaking of 8th grade, our first dance is October 28th, I believe it's a Friday. It's a Halloween dance. So permission slips will be going out for that. It is for grades 6 through 8. We are in need of parent volunteer chaperones always. So if you can, please reach out to the 8th grade PTA committee. If they're there, I'm sure they'll introduce themselves. Because it's important that we all do what we can for our 8th graders moving out of our school and moving on to their next destination. The other thing is, let's see, there's just so much. Oh, our off-site evacuation, like Mr. Velarde said, I can't say a negative thing. It was so great. Everyone worked together. The 4th graders and the 5th graders were so cute. It was a beautiful morning. The weather was nice. It wasn't too cold. So we all went 4 through 8. We took a walk there. We took a walk back. Everyone came back safe and sound. I also had an unexpected evacuation where Mr. Velarde was nice enough to allow us to use his gym in the rain. So that worked out really well. Nothing major, just sometimes these things happen, and we evacuated over to Lincoln School. I noticed that Lincoln School was still in place, and I'm like, well, let's just go there, and it worked out well. Everybody's hands on deck were there. Mr. G, the supervisors, the principals, so that worked off really well. And coming up too, thank you, our book fair is coming up as well. That information, we have picture day, retakes are coming up. Oh my goodness, what else, Mrs. Green? There's just so much coming down the line.
No worries. I have dates for you. I'll fill them in, Mrs. Borelli.
Okay, good. But I just want to thank everyone, and if there's something I left out, don't worry. It's going to be coming your way through a Genesis class. There will be communication. Believe it or not, before we know it, we're going to be having parents coming in for their conferences. That's right around the corner too. We got some little time off with the teachers convention coming. So there's a lot coming fast, and before you know it, we're going to be in June. I'm not even gonna mention the holidays because I don't wanna go there yet. I'm trying to take one day at a time. So thanks again for allowing me this time, and if anyone has any questions or you wanna reach out to me, please feel free. You know where I live. I live in East Rutherford, and I come home to vacation every now and then to see my family. And they don't recognize me sometimes, but all is good. Love what we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Borelli. Any questions for Mrs. Borelli tonight? No? Floor is quiet, Mrs. Borelli. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for everything. You'll hear from me soon enough. Okay, so next up on our agenda today is our treasurer's report.
Hi everyone, good evening. In September, we were pretty busy with membership and some, I guess, birthday lawns and ice cream social. So all of that is reflected on the report. Sorry, I don't have extra copies, but it's posted online. Currently on balance, we have in the bank account 9,500 and 95.10. And I have cash to deposit that will make it to the account. Currently, petty cash as of September 30th is $5,568.14. The 8th grade committee officially has their own bank account, and going forward, we're going to keep it separate, and they have $1,000 starting out on hand as of September. And to last thing for on my end is that I will need 3 volunteers to volunteer on an audit for the books that I prepare for the PTA. Basically, you guys would just review the bank statements and the audit report that I have to submit to New Jersey and sign off on that. So if 3 of you have extra 15 minutes for the next week or so, I would greatly appreciate that. I would prefer it it's a PTA member and not anyone on the board, just to make sure that the books always stay clear. And if you guys want to access the actual receipts, I have everything on file, so the books will be open if you want to randomly pick up a receipt on a bank statement and just say, I want to see this. So any volunteers would be greatly appreciated. I have to submit this by October 28th. So anyone wants to volunteer, please let us know. And that's pretty much it for my report.
And are we balanced?
And we are bound.
Thank you, Paula. Yeah, so please reach out to Paula if you are able to do that as a PTA member as well. Thank you. Correspondence?
Yep. We have 2 correspondences. One is a thank you note from Dear East Rutherford PTA. Thank you so much for the first day breakfast. Looking forward to a great school year from the Faust staff. The other one is a letter also thanking us. Dear Mrs. Green and the members of the East Rutherford PTA, Mr. Barrow, Mr. Velarde, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and the members of the PTA for the enjoyable breakfast that was offered to our faculty on the morning of September 8th, 2022. The bagels, muffins, and coffees were enjoyed by our entire staff and truly helped to make our transition back to school such a welcoming one. Once again, we thank you so very much for your time and generosity. As always, it is very much appreciated. Warm regards, Regina Borelli, Principal of A.S. Faust Intermediate School, with Brian Barrow, Principal of Mackenzie School, and Peter Velarde, Principal of Lincoln School. And that's the correspondence this morning.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Alyssa, membership?
So as of right now, we have 249 members, between staff and parents, which is better than we had last year. Last year we ended with like 175, so we're doing good. But I mean, if anybody knows anybody that wants to sign up, we'll take memberships all year long. It could be a parent, friends, family members, doesn't have to be necessarily a parent or guardian. So just reach out if you need the link or if you know anybody that wants to join.
And then next up is our 8th grade committee. I'd like to introduce Audra Fossey, who's here as our 8th grade committee chair. And I'm sorry, I'm not pronouncing her name right. Lashima?
Yes.
Okay, Lashima's also here as well from 8th grade committee. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. They need any help that they can get, and they're here to let you know what 8th grade committee does. So, Audra.
We're basically just gonna raise money for the 8th grade students this year to make it a wonderful year for them. We're raising money for the formal, the yearbooks, for decorations, end of the year gifts for them. We have a lot of fundraisers coming up, which if you could just always check your email and your virtual backpack. We're gonna try to keep putting it out there and hopefully get a lot of volunteers to help us out with that, because that's how we'll make the money, with the more volunteers we get. So, we're hoping for a good year and a lot of parents participate, pass the word on. Dances, we need 10 chaperones. We have 5 so far for the first one. In need of 5 more. If, again, reach out. If you can do it, that would be great. We're gonna have something set up that you can log on and, slot your time in or whatever, donations and chips and water and, if anyone's been in 6th and 7th, they know the gamut of the dances and what goes on, so. Help would be greatly appreciated in any way.
So please, if you are a house parent, please sign up, because if we don't get the amount of chaperones that we need, unfortunately, the event gets canceled, and
Yeah.
we don't want to do that.
And it's
That's the last thing we
disappointing
want to
for
do.
the kids,
So,
because they look forward to that as well.
Does it have to be a spouse parent?
I think it could
Or
be
will you
7
reach
through
out?
6, right? Graders or husbands and stuff like
Or
that.
do you reach out, other people from other?
yeah, I always thought it was spouse parents, but can it be open to like everyone, I guess? Would you be open to,
Before you cancel, they would
Having
cancel
help?
the loan, right?
Well, when you say not a
You would
spouse
open
parent,
up for-
like you mean
Like
like
a
kids
Mackenzie
parent?
I mean, if you're gonna cancel it, like, you say,
Like maybe
if you didn't get enough.
I don't see why not.
okay.
As
Since
long
you're
as-
organizing it, I just wanted to run it by you, so.
Yeah, you just have to know like a few days before who that parent is, so that it's passed along to Ms. Barali and whoever's aware of who's gonna be showing up for the dance, so that she knows, but yeah, absolutely.
So reach out to Audra or Lashima or anybody on the 8th grade committee, please, so we don't have to,
Thank you.
cancel any events. Thank you.
When is the dance?
October 28th.
28.
Last Friday in October.
And just a note, did the 8th grade committee run the pumpkin patch at
We
the fall
did.
festival?
It was
Well, thank you very
amazing.
much for that,
Thank
for that
you.
service to our
It was a
community.
great success, thank you.
We're happy to hear that. Thank you.
It's a wonderful event every year, so
It
thank you.
really was, yeah.
Thank you, Audra and Lashima,
Thank
for
you.
doing this tonight. Okay, so, old business, we have our June meeting minutes and treasurer's reports, posted on the PTA page on the district website, so please check those out. Picture day retakes, since picture day went well, as you heard from all 3 principals. We hope you're happy with your child's pictures. If you are not, we are having retakes on December 15th, which is a Thursday. And that day is for retakes and any children who were absent. So please, December 15th. So please keep that date in mind.
Question, when do the pictures come back?
They should be coming back next month, in November. So you will have time between, yeah, because.
Because it's like, we're talking about the retakes
November,
and
yeah.
I haven't seen the original yet.
Yeah, so we just want to get the date out just because, just so if the parents have the dates already in mind. But pictures should be coming at some point in November, a few weeks before the retake day. It takes about, we did them last week. So it's about like a 3 to 4 week turnaround by the time they get, they process them and return to the school, so.
Is that the same for digital?
Digital, that, if you got a package that has a text option, it does take, it is faster. So you receive those within it's been 2 weeks I think usually. So if you've got that, the package that has a digital option with the text, you should be getting it hopefully by next week or the week after. If that helps. Thank you for supporting our book fair at Mackenzie and Lincoln. And also our Spiritware fundraiser. That is actually going on until June. So if anybody's interested, we decided to go with first place Spiritware just because we have that option to keep it open the whole year as kids grow and, so you can shop as your kids grow and always have your Wildcat gear. New business, we will be at the Fall for All over at the ERPD lots this Saturday, so please stop by our table. We will be there from 2 to 6. We will be selling Halloween stencils and Wildcat mugs, so please stop by. And
Can you repeat that?
Sure. We have our, or we'll have a table at the Fall for All. It's a it's a ERPD events over at their lots. And they have like a thing like they have the trucks out and the police cars and the motorcycles for the kids to check out. And it's something that they started doing about a year or two ago. The libraries do it, but then ERPD took it over.
It's usually like inflatables and
Yeah.
trucks and stuff like that.
So it's like a mini like fall festival. I don't know if anybody went to the fall festival this weekend on Park Ave, but it's like a just like a mini version with the police trucks and like the motorcycles and the police cars. And they're gonna have like food and tables this Saturday from 2 to 6. No problem. We also have our trunk or treat coming up on Saturday, October 29th. That will also be at the ERPD parking lot on Stanley Street. That is from 12 to 3 p.m. Setup is at 11 a.m. Rain date is Sunday, October 30th. We need trunks and volunteers to make it happen, so anyone who is interested in volunteering or lending us your trunk for the day, decorating it, please contact Madeline. We are happy to take any help that we can get. Fast food thing.
Question on
Oh,
Deadline for the trunk or treat?
Deadline. Yep.
You have to register by this time? Just the day before, so I have heads up.
Let me save you a spot.
To be a trunk,
Yes.
Yes.
to be a trunk. To attend, there's no registration.
No, yeah, no registration, no sign up. It's free for everyone who attends. So that's the trunk or treat. Fast Book Fair is coming up on Wednesday, November 2nd, and Thursday, November 3rd. Again, we need volunteers for that. If anyone is interested, please reach out to us. We need volunteers to help with setup and throughout the book fair. We have shifts, if that helps. Setup is usually after school, just because you can't set up while the kids are there for safety issues. And then the book fair shifts are usually like morning and afternoon shifts, and then we get a break for lunch in between. So please reach out. We need any help that we can get. And then we have a few things going on in November. As you get ready for the holidays, please help fundraise while you shop. And think of PTA. We have Fun Pasta fundraiser coming up, as well as Double Good Popcorn and a pie fundraiser. So please keep us in mind. We will be sending out flyers and notices as they happen. We have our holiday shop scheduled, which is, through the years we used to call it like the Holiday Bazaar, which is where your kids get to shop for their gifts for anyone, like family members or anyone they would like to shop for. We have that scheduled for the week of December 5th. We will be sending more information out on that, as we will need helpful setup and throughout the days of the holiday shop as well.
Question on that.
Yes, we're
Is that at every school? Is that
yes, all 3 schools. Every event we do is all 3 schools, except for like some things we do for like the dances, maybe like something like that would be like school specific, but like stuff like book fair, holiday bazaar, like field day would be coming up like that's like next year, all 3 schools. And then let's see, I can give dates if that would help. So holiday shop for Lincoln is set up is Tuesday, December 6th. After school. And Lincoln shop will be open Wednesday, December 7th and Thursday, December 8th. Mackenzie and Faust setup date is TBD. But the shop will be open for students on Thursday, December 8th and Friday, December 9th for Mackenzie and Faust. And just a reminder, please remember to check your virtual backpack for more information, and as well as sign up for PTA Facebook as we post all our current information on there. And then any for the Mackenzie rep, Shannon's here for any class parents with any questions. Please see Shannon at the end of the meeting for that. And that's it. Any questions?
And all of this will be documented.
Yes, we
Notices
will.
will be sent out via Genesis, via virtual backpack, also on our Facebook page
The meeting minutes will be posted as well.
and on our website.
You it's a lot of information, we understand, so we will, be sure to post everything for you. Yes, hi.
Is there any way that the trick or treat could be changed just to Sunday? It's just so difficult because now the football and cheerleading and all that has been changed, the time. So none of the parents that are going will wanted to participate in the trick or treat won't be able to do it now because all of our kids have, the smaller kids have football and cheerleading on the same day as the trick or treat, trunk or treat. So we're not doing same day and time, so none of us will be able to participate.
See, the dates is something that we coordinate with the town and the ERPD, and it's, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into consideration when we pick out the dates and times, and, you know, we've tried different times, through the years, like, we've tried it at night, we've tried it, like, during the week, the school nights, and the times that worked the best were the times, from 12 to 3, and we understand, I mean, there's soccer going on, there's football, there's Mighty Mites, I mean, there's different schedules that we have to work around. We also have to work around, when the lot is available, I mean, it's not our space, so we have to, work with ERPD to, you know, whenever they tell us it's available. We have to work with what, we're dealt with, unfortunately. I mean, I'm sorry if the time
Also,
doesn't
is there
work for you.
ever any student dances at Mackenzie, or are they like too small? Are the kids too small? at Mackenzie to do student dances?
Dances are usually, like 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. For Mackenzie, we're working out, like last year we did the Kids Night Out. So we're hoping to do something like that again, like in the beginning of next year, just when everything starts slowing down, because right now there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But it is something that we are working on for Mackenzie and Lincoln, to do something like a Kids Night Out or maybe a movie night, just to give the kids like an event. You know, if it's not a dance, it'll be something.
Yeah.
So we are working on that, and we will be sending more information out once everything is confirmed. So you're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions?
Can you guys keep that in mind for next year, asking about how, like, East Rutherford has all of its sports on the day that they're doing trunk or treat, so maybe they can change it on Sunday?
We will make a note of that.
Yeah, for next year.
We usually do it on a Saturday just because if it rains, like on a Saturday, then we do it on a Sunday. And if we do it on a Sunday, then like we don't have a rain date to pick. So I mean, it's just, Saturday always works best, unfortunately. Yeah, but we will, because the next date.
Or like a Friday night, you know, and then make up for the meeting Saturday, just for next year, you know? A lot of kids, they can't make it.
Understood. Anybody else? All right. Our next meeting is on Wednesday, November 2nd, and it's always at 7 p.m. We will keep you posted in case location changes, and we hope to see you then. Thank you everyone for coming. It's nice to see everybody back here. We haven't had a meeting like this in like 3 years. It's been virtual for the last 2.5. So thank you everyone.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Barrow.
Bye-bye now.